Whew. Hello everyone. Hello everyone, how you doing? We did it! We won. We won the the beating of Miami in Miami Cup that I've come up with. It's only for teams that have been able to beat Miami against a full force Messi Miami in their own house. And we won that cup. It's only ours, and I'm very proud of it. I think it's the only cup that matters this year. And what is that? Pineda'S signs an extension to 2028? Is that what I heard based on this performance tonight? So, yeah, without further ado, I'm going to try and see if I can show you guys something really quickly that happened briefly after I learned that we had won the game. It is not letting me show it at the moment. I'll show it in a minute. But until then, let me get AJ in. Well, I figured that out. AJ, how you doing? Welcome.
Oh boy. I mean, listen, it seems like Gonzalo Pineda has listened to our stream afterward and got that vote of confidence that he needed to make some changes or something. No. I mean, obviously, this is a game that has us all incredulous. Like, what? What did we just see? How did that happen? We went into Miami where Messi, Jordi Alba, Luis Suarez, Sergio Busquets all played. Julian Gressel as well. And we got the win. And not only, just some win, we went in as 12th in the Eastern Conference and beat the top club in the Eastern Conference. But it's also, this happens to a lot of teams that are top. We were the trap game. You know, we were due, and we finally changed some tactics to play with a little bit more verticality and less possession, and we look like a team that, really wanted to win this match. And we played a resolute defense. I mean, Stian Gregerson, went on a walkabout later in the match because he really didn't have that much to do on the right. He just swept up, took care of business. And Derek Williams, Caleb Wiley, Luis Abram on that left-hand side pretty much had most of Messi in their pocket, except for when he found himself pretty much at the D and scored a just messy goal that you just can't do anything about. But Saba, in a match where last year none of the players really seemed like they were up for, kind of taking this match to Messi. And being that player that, hey, I want to play against Messi and be the player of the match, the man of the match. Well, Saba did that tonight. I mean, that first goal, just ridiculous. And then the second goal, cutting in. We've kind of seen him do that before, but he finally kind of beat the XG that has been his a little bit of a monkey on his back this season, and that he wasn't scoring goals in the box like he should, but from outside the box, he's money. And Saba, he put the team on his back tonight from an attack standpoint. And Almada also looked like a different player. He also looked motivated, driving through the middle, being incisive, and finding Caleb Wiley, who was able to put in a really, really good ball into the middle of the box, where Thierry just had to flick it to the bottom of the right hand corner of the net. And, I mean, you know, I think it's resolute that we did not concede another goal after Messi scored.
Yeah.
And, you know, basically, I think super important, even more important, is we didn't concede immediately after we scored. So, you know, to be able to go into halftime, like, to go into halftime 1-0, this hasn't been the case in quite some time. And, you know, the greater questions are if it's replicable, if we can carry this on not only through Charlotte, but also the greater question is, you know, will the front office think that this keeps Gonzalo Pineda in the job? Not sure. I mean, it's definitely, it's our worst stretch ever. So everything is pretty much going up from here, but
it's tough, man.
You know?
It's tough. I mean, like, it's statistics will tell you this is an outlier. Don't get too excited. But I mean, you just beat the best team by a good margin in the entire league, with the best player on earth on it, essentially full strength in their own home. I mean, of course you're going to get hyped on that. Like, of course you're going to be like, we're the best now, obviously. So it's going to be hard for us to look at that objectively with the sobering lens of statistics to say, well, this is probably an outlier. However, let's not let that dampen the mood. We won tonight. It's a rare occasion that we get a W these days, and boy, is this a feather in the cap. I mean, like, few teams can say that they've beaten Miami at home against the full force, like Messi and friends. That's a rarity. I thought someone posted something in the chat that was kind of interesting. What was it? There was a stat about how, like, no one has beaten Miami in this fashion in, like, oh yeah, Lionel Messi's club team lost a match in which he scored a goal for the first time in over 3 years since a 2-1 defeat to Celta de Vigo on May 16, 2021. So, I mean, we historical, y'all. I mean, it's a lot of fun to say that we've done something that's worth note that the league is going to be talking about, everyone's going to be talking about. Like, how the heck did Atlanta figure out a way to unwind this juggernaut of a team?
Yeah, juggernaut even, but yeah, I mean, for sure, it's on a level of, you know, as big of a scalp as you can take. You know, I think in any league, you know, basically winning against Messi, like that's something that you hang your hat on. But, you know, the season is not predicated on this. But will we enjoy this win? Hell yeah, we're going to enjoy this win. I mean, you're going to savor all the good moments that you can, because we have been definitely robbed of that lately. And so, hell yeah. Like, that's what we're going to take home. And, you know, it's also, you know, the social media team, they're cooking right now.
Yeah.
And
they finally can unleash. They can finally unload. Like, yes.
Exactly. And so, you know, I think they've had a rough go of it. They've gotten some abuse, unrightly so, but it also is, you know, to a degree, they've been having to tweet through this really rough patch, which is incredibly hard, but it also is, yeah, there is a time to read the room, and, you know, right now the room wants the pettiness. The room wants
they want the salt, all the salt.
Exactly. And you know, if they want to, you know, Salt Bay as many as many little digs at Inter Miami, I'm here for it. Completely here for it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'm just happy. Like, I'm on cloud nine. The fact that Saba got almost like a hat trick tonight, like that was incredible. Like, what was going on? Like, I kept asking, and I said, so we joined the like, you know, shout out to Scars and Spikes. We were in their watch party for a little while we were hanging out watching the game at my house, and yeah, like we were yelling at the camera when we were up when we had 2 goals in already. Like, what team is this? What team got on the plane from Atlanta to Miami? Because it certainly wasn't the team that has gone 9 winless in a row before this. Like, it was a very inspired, confident, willing to take it to him team that we hadn't seen in like so long. A team that struggled against like Chicago and bottom dwelling teams, and all of a sudden we put Miami on their ass. Like, that was incredible. Yeah. I like, and I will say, I did promise the stream and I did promise the community that I would do a Stone Cold Steve Austin beer thing, celebration, I guess. And I did do that, and we did film it, and we will have it for you. Let me see if I can bring it up. Yep, we can. So I'm going to play that real quick for everybody. 1, 2. Finish this one. All right. All right, let's go, buddy. All right. All right. Well, that was me coming due, and I also did a shot of liquor after that, but it didn't show up on the video. So I did fulfill my promise. I didn't think I'd have to do that. I really, really didn't. But you know what? Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy to do it on a Wednesday night. But I gotta wake up for work in the morning. But you know.
What does Stone Cold say?
What does Stone Cold say? What does he say? I don't remember.
Because that's the bottom line.
That's the bottom line?
Because Stone Cold said so.
Because oh my god, how did I forget that?
I know, right?
I was like, I can smell what he's cooking? No, that's not it. What is it?
Definitely not. Definitely not smell what he's cooking. But
yeah, that's The Rock. That's different.
But, yeah, I mean, you know, anytime that's, you know, we'll make this bet again, sure.
Yeah. If that's what it takes to get a W, I'm here for it. Exactly. I will martyr myself every game with alcohol if that's what it takes.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, that back patio is gonna be sticky, but yeah, man, I guess you're gonna take a hose to it or something. But yeah, I mean, it's just like this is a match you can build on for sure, but not get too high on because, yeah, you know, while you wanna you know, really relish your wins, you know, celebrate. Because you never know. You never know when you're going to get the next one, clearly. But, you know, it still is... We got to be as even keel as possible as a team, too. You know, and, you know, make sure that... this isn't, like, one of those games that you can compare too much, I would say, in a sense. Because, you know, one of those things that, you know, a lot of people do is like, oh... you know, you beat this team, and but they didn't beat this team, so that means you're greater than that team. But, you know, obviously, it doesn't work like that in sports. And so, yeah, we need to win the games in front of us. The problem is, yes, still, the elephant in the room is that even with this win, like, we're not... Our objectives at the beginning of the season are probably not going to be reached. And so, you know, for Gonzalo Pineda, for Carlos Bocanegra, like, unless we go on an unprecedented, just crazy run, yeah, like, we're still failing those objectives. But You know, I guess the greater question is, do we have faith in the team to do this going forward, to turn this whole thing around and become what those objectives was going to be, which is a top 4 side in the Eastern Conference? I mean,
that's a good question. I mean, it's again like I didn't expect this at all. So clearly there are surprises in store for this team and us as a fan base. So stranger things have happened. It could, we could be seeing the emergence of a phenomenon that I like to see, or I have talked about in Seattle when they say zombie Seattle. Seattle sucks the first half of the season, and then all of a sudden they're in the playoffs and are making a run for the cup. Hey, if we're like that, I'm okay. We'll see. But I mean, that takes a lot, and that puts your fan base in very precarious and often anxiety-inducing situations. So that's a hard team to be a fan of when you have to slog through the first half of the season and hope you get there. But weirdly do somehow a lot of times with Seattle. And so if we're like that, I don't know how I really feel about that, but I mean, I will take that over having a slog through the entire season of mediocrity.
I mean, of course, but that's the thing. You can't really bet on teams to do that very often. I mean, Seattle.
Unless you're Seattle. Yeah, they're just that's their game plan apparently.
Right, and they even then aren't doing it every single season. It's a little bit anomalous. It's definitely not a if that's a word. I think it is.
Anomalous is a word, yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's definitely something that you're like you're saying, it is a big ask of your fan base. So not necessarily we should try to be that type of club, and should we be okay with it? I think that again still is lowering our expectations when we absolutely should be raising our standards. Because, just the amount of time that, I think fans have been patient and essentially not really rewarded. I don't really think that, that is the move. But, let's get into the chat. And,
we'll get in the chat and have our first guest on, which is Patreon priority. If you're a patron, you get first dibs to come on for us. Let's see. Merrick Gollard says, let's go, get in. Jeff Vanderland says, let's go. Tadaya says, let's get this party started. Connor Thompson got to win 3 more straight to feel good or go unbeaten in our next 3 with 2 wins. Maverick Cuisine says, great to celebrate a team win. I've got a few thoughts from tonight, so bear with me. All right, we'll bear with you, I promise. Connor says, me tired night, y'all. Me tired night, y'all. I guess you're tired tonight is what I'm hearing because your typing is interesting. But we will be hearing from you later, Connor. So Drew says, he's about to be on the camera, but he did say a win. What is this feeling? BTM says, we are so back. I love the energy. It's like the meme where the car is picking which road to go on and he swerves to the right where it's, completely crashing out of the league, or we're going to win MLS Cup. So, yeah.
Yeah, the Fast and Furious ending. Yep.
Merrick says, I'm buzzing and happy after that win. Aren't we all? It's amazing. It feels so good finally to revel in the jubilation, the elation everyone has. Maverick says, this might be the best performance from the team this season. I don't know if it was the Messi effect, but ironically, it seemed as though the team played better because they had less room for error. I witnessed a team chemistry, a sense of urgency, and collective agenda that made Messi nearly invisible in the heat of battle. For once, we played with a purpose and a metaphorical taste for blood. I like the emphasis on that part. That was good. Connor also says, Big EP needs Sleepy. Well, you're going to have to keep up with us tonight because you are scheduled to come on the show. So, got 5-hour work meeting tomorrow. Well, I mean, don't we all? So, All right, so that was that was like 1/3 of the comments tonight. We still got plenty of them to get to, but we are joined now by Drew, the eponymous Drew. How are you doing? Are you good tonight? You're good, probably, right? Pretty happy?
Yeah, we're definitely.
We got a happy Drew tonight?
Finally, we finally get a win, and a big one. Jeez.
Massive one, even.
And you're on the stream after a win. I mean, it's
fine. This hasn't.
wow.
I was gonna say this hasn't happened since the second game of the season.
Right. Like we were due, you were due, and finally, it all coalesced into this beautiful synergy that you can.
No
now
one
give
thought
us
it
your
would be
thoughts
this.
when we win.
Finally, we see Pineda actually change his tactics, and I'm going to give him plaudits for this because there was also in-game tactics that I saw him changing that benefited us, and it's just our big players stepped up, our money players stepped up big here and played like they are expected to play. And look what this team looks like when they actually step up.
Yeah, I mean it's huge because basically I think Taylor Twellman, he pointed out on the broadcast that I mean the very fact that we went 9 winless and we were able to kind of pull off this victory, it does show a little bit of yes, we have been underwhelming, we have underperformed, we have not met our expectations this season, and I mean I think we all know there is more talent to this team than where we are in the standings, but there are other factors obviously than just talent.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, 9 game non-winning streak. Miami had 11 or 12 game winning streak, or at least unbeaten streak.
Unbeaten, probably.
And how do you you have a train going this way and a train going that way, and somehow the one going in the opposite direction of the starting line of the race somehow comes around and beats the other one. It's incredible. That's one hell of a turnaround.
That is what sports is it can't be plain on paper. Mm-hmm. And that's probably why we all watch, right? Is to see the things that you would not expect to happen. Because if everything was just, X's and O's and, binary 1 and 0, I mean, sports would be boring and we would just switch off. It wouldn't matter. But
that's why we play the games. Yep, exactly.
Yep. But Drew, pick your man of the match. This is actually, I think, pretty difficult, but possibly anyway, in my opinion. What do you think?
For me, it's down to 2. It's either Saba or Almada, and I'm gonna go with Almada here because his work throughout this game was something we've been missing all year from him. We saw the Thiago Almada that was demolishing teams last year. That first goal for Saba, the unbelievable work rate from him to just set that play up, and even on the second one too, and the third, he was playing freely. It looked like he was having fun again, and he started running at players. He started making the crisp passes that we know and love him for, and it was incredible to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I wonder if that Messi effect is in play here, because obviously, a lot of Argentinians are going to be watching this match. You have both Almada and Messi playing, and then you have that aspect where, okay, with all the people that are watching, okay, I got to put on performance. I have to make sure that they see that I am playing well. Yeah, one at a time, guys.
Indomitable. How many times did I tell you, buddy?
It's all good, but yeah, just make sure everybody don't hop on until we have you. We let you know, but yeah, I mean, it's like Almada, I think, was extra motivated tonight through a lot of different things that I think were in play externally, but at least it seems like anyway. But yeah, Drew, as far as what you did see that was different per se, like you mentioned you wanted to give him the plaudits for it. What was different that you noticed that kind of made it a match that had Inter Miami? They looked pretty lost. They the XG was pretty much like 3-6 or something like that for us, and they were barely, if they even crossed 1. So
the back three, especially with having Williams back, that back three is very solid. They, especially with Gregerson back there, being able to dictate that back line, it stayed very organized. It allowed us to have at least a base of stability back there, which we haven't had at times this season, which gives us an edge here to start with. And then you have McCarty and Muyumba. McCarty basically sat in front of that back three and allowed Muyumba to play a lot more freely. And he had a lot of success this game, carrying the ball forward, being free to kind of make these late runs and distribute the ball later in our final third. And that's big to be able to do that with him, because he looked like a completely different player than we have seen in the past 5-6 games, and that was huge. Then also our wingbacks being able to be a little bit more free, and this is one thing I noticed big time. Caleb Wiley in the first half was kind of lost a little bit and was trying to stay back a little bit too much and wasn't pushing up high. You saw in the second half something changed. This is where I think Pineda actually got in the ear of Wiley, and actually I'm going to give him plaudits for this, because Caleb Wiley, as soon as he started bombing forward, created so much space for Almada to kind of work in. Wiley was in the attack all second half, just barreling down there, pushing their back line back, which it led to both of the goals basically in the second half. The space opened up and we just are able to run at their back line, and they didn't have any answers for it.
It's interesting you say that, because we were hanging out with, I believe it was some guys from the Battered Hens podcast. That's the Inter Miami one, and they were saying how they actually thought it was really smart for us to have Lennon and Wiley kind of stay more home in this game, defensively speaking, and less expose us by running up the flanks as much like they typically want to do. And I was like, yeah, that was totally what we wanted to do, and a very smart idea. I agree completely. Yes, that's it. So I don't they typically don't do that, and I was surprised to see it. I don't know if they were forced back, if it just felt more natural for them to play more in reserve, because they understood they need to absorb Miami's pressure and to try and hit on a counter. That seemed to be what the modus operandi for this match was. We can look at the statistics of this game, and you brought up XG earlier, and holy freaking cow, 3.51 XG for Atlanta, 0.8 from Miami at home, and we had a 39% possession. We did the textbook thing that I hate seeing teams do against us in Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Exactly. And that's what it is too. Is we know Tata Martino, he struggles against a low block, and if there's a team that's pretty much operates that way. I mean, it's Inter Miami where they want the ball, they want to dictate everything. But I think we did exactly what we've been trying to clamor for this season, which is you don't have to dominate the ball to dominate the game. And with this, it's like using Caleb Wiley as a runner, which is what he's so good at. Having that willing runner and that willing presser. I mean, we saw him later in the match. He was still giving a ton of energy, pressing everyone in the back line. Whether that was actually the smartest thing or not is a different thing. But because we should be pressing as a team and with more triggers instead of just running like headless chicken. But either way, with Saba and Tiare playing up top in kind of this like 3-5-2 or 5-3-2 that we were playing with, I mean, you're seeing FC Cincy kind of be able to do a lot of this good work that they've had so far this season with playing kind of the 3-man backline, 5-man backline, and really stymieing teams and just making sure that they get nothing. And I think you might be seeing a switch from a lot of teams realizing, okay, yeah, maybe we might need to play this way, especially in a league that has Messi. The way to block off Messi, unfortunately, whether it's exciting football or not, is to pretty much crowd him out. And yeah, he may be able to play through that, but I think you saw tonight, we had enough to at least keep him quiet-ish. He's going to get his golazo, but the rest of the team didn't have enough. So I think that's something that's really something to keep an eye out for. But Drew, final thoughts.
Let's carry this result into Sunday. If we can continue this trend, keep playing this sort of way, because this way we are built to play this sort of style. Let's carry this in and get another result, and we'll see where this takes us.
Yeah. The question is, can we play that way at home? I think the fans will be pretty kind to that now after having seen that on the road. I don't know if the casual fans will necessarily, maybe take us not possessing the ball as much, but I think they'll probably be okay with whatever at this point.
I was going to say, if the goals come, they're going to keep watching. Yeah,
exactly. So, especially I think word's going to get out that, we beat Messi and Inter Miami. So that'll help the water cooler talk. That'll bring some people back for Sunday, I feel like. Because I
just put a meme on the screen right now. I had to put this out there. It's the Stian Gregerson emptying his pockets tonight. With Suarez in there. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
it was good.
Yeah.
Oof.
It was good.
Like you said, cook admin.
Uh-huh.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. That's what it is. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Got the keys, got the wallet, got Luis Suarez. The guy, Miami did not count on going up against a fully operational defensive battle station that is Stian Gregerson, Williams, and Josh freaking Cohen. They don't understand. They did not understand what they were going up against. Messi's like, I haven't even seen this. He has seen Cohen before, but he didn't see these people before. So.
Say that's another big thing. Who's starting on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, there were some players rested. There were some in terms of the players that started as well. I mean, yeah, they were on minutes management probably.
Yeah.
So, I think you have the international break coming up. I think you empty the tank probably, and so.
And who's in goal?
Yeah, I know. That is a great question. We will talk about that in our episode tomorrow. So, but all right, guys. Yes, Drew, thank you so much, and always a pleasure. Chat with you soon.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
All right. Let's
read the chat.
Read the chat for a hot minute. Forgot to change. You guys got to see the next guest's name come up there for a second.
I did.
Yeah, because I changed it too early. All right, so that's what I get for trying to do really, really well at my my thing. So let's see. Tadaya says AJ looks like he just woke up, snuck in that 30-minute nap.
Man, I need a nap. Man, it's getting late. I am tired.
I probably just look like I just woke up too, don't I?
Yeah. That is the sultry voice of Connor that I will throw on the screen for you guys in a moment. Maveritus Cuisine says, amazing how loose this team plays when holding a lead, but it seemed like the boys were playing with more space and freedom to create. Perhaps we match up well with Miami and Tata's familiar tactics. He also says, Saba is 100% the best performing player on this roster, possibly our current MVP, for this effort alone, if nothing else. The starting goalkeeper spot is Cohen's job to lose now. Think about this. Although we're on an 8-game winless MLS streak, we could possibly go 4 matches without losing in all competitions with a win on Sunday. If Saba's post-game presser is correct, it doesn't seem like the players are worried about Pineda being sacked anytime soon. Apparently, they feel that they are failing as an entire unit when they lose. And then Maverick says, "All right, I'm done. Thank you for that, Maverick, for the whole exposition. We appreciate it." So Connor, let me just make sure. Are you Connor Thompson in the chat? Just making sure.
I'm not.
You're not. That's a different Connor. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. So sorry.
I do not have a work meeting tomorrow.
Sorry for attributing another person's next day business activities to you.
I have orientation tomorrow, but I don't got.
Boy.
All right. Well, maybe I talk to you from the future. Maybe you will have business meetings in the future.
Eventually.
Yeah. Time traveling Connor.
Yeah. Hopefully one day I'll be there.
Hopefully.
Maybe.
All right. So welcome to the stream, Connor. What is your hopefully very happy, satisfied, content evaluation of this game?
No. I will say I'm satisfied. I'm very happy with the result and I'm very happy with the performance, but I'm satisfied as a whole because I think the big thing that I'm waiting for if we can get one more win where we almost play a complete opposite team where they try and sit back on us and then we get a win, I feel like I'm going to be much more I'll be kind of turning the page almost. Right now I'm very it's not almost that I'm worried. I'm just I'm very hesitant because I feel like this performance, no matter we played very well, but they almost played into our strengths almost, which what I'm worried about is we have to find the middle ground between playing how we do at home and playing like this at home as well. We need to find that middle ground of not pressing too high, playing that kind of mid-block, letting the pressure come in, and then catapulting out of that pressure. We need a more of we're trying to play as a really high pressure team that wins it back early and get it back, and I honestly just don't think that's going to work. I think we need to play like a Brighton almost and draw them in, and then as soon as we get that little space, then we just go. And I think we can do that with the team that we have more so than how we have been. But I'm slightly worried that we try and tilt the ship too far almost. I'm waiting till Sunday to see if we put in a good performance there where I see similar aspects of this, how we played tonight. I think I'll be almost turning the page.
Are you expecting to see similar statistics in terms of counter-attacking formation? 3 in the back, don't give the other team the lion's share of the ball and hit them where it hurts.
I don't necessarily think that we're gonna do full out park the bus like we did tonight. We weren't completely park the bus, but we were definitely sitting behind the ball. We were sitting back, but I think if we can go more towards the 50% mark on possession, and we get where we almost like let them bring in the pressure to begin with in the game, counterattack them, and then whenever we go up and we start gaining control of the game, that's whenever we gain back possession. I think that's what we need to do, honestly. We need to kind of give them a little bit of confidence, draw them in, and then really hurt them on the counter.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean that makes a lot of sense to me. You absorb pressure, stabilize the game, and then if you can hurt them on the counter, and then switch into a more aggressive stance for the latter part of the game if you're already up a point. That makes obviously it's easier said than done, right? Because
sure.
I mean, is it luck that we were able to do that tonight, or was that a product of some kind of replicable system that we employed that just worked and will work if we do it again?
I think it's a mixture. I think it's a result of how we played tonight was very much to counter exactly how they play. And I don't see very many teams trying to do that to us, which is, I think, that was my main issue, like during the game, whenever everyone was up in arms and like we were like, okay, we're back. I'm like, the issue is not every team's going to play like this against us. And a lot of teams, I feel like, are going to try and really just play it long and give us possession. Because if they just give us possession, we're just going to run ourselves into issues, which is an issue in itself. But I just don't see this exact result. I don't think we can replicate it against pretty much anybody.
So, like, why don't we play this way away, like every game?
I think now that we've seen it work, I think we should, and I think we should have almost all the time. It's an issue though, because like even if you're playing like a Chicago away from home, they're not going to want to dominate the ball as much as like they're not going to commit as many men forward as Inter Miami. It's just that they're going to play differently against us, and it's just like the main issue is no team's going to try and dominate like send as many people forward as Inter Miami did. That's the main issue. It's how do you find the middle ground?
Yeah, how do you find the space behind that we were able to be afforded this match? And that is the great question, because against Charlotte, mid-table team right now, it's gonna be a lot different. Especially, they're not that type of side that's going to throw as many men forward. They're not going to try to dominate with the ball. They're not going to try to control proceedings per se, especially away. So, that really is the question: is can we be good enough on the ball and clinical enough in the box instead of relying on the moments of magic that still 2 of the 3 of the goals were moments of magic versus, okay, this was a great team goal, really incisive play. It was more, we were able to find that little blip in the match where we can exploit the space and, be very clinical. And I think it was also this, I think it's something with Saba that I don't know if you've recently noticed, is that like ball striking from him has been a little bit poor, just really strangely, like not really hit true, but him hitting on his right foot this match is exactly what he needs, is putting his foot through the ball and then just hitting top bins, hitting with his left. I mean, do you feel like this turns the corner for Saba?
For Saba, yeah, I think it does. I think another thing that's like been very, very interesting, at least that I've seen, is he's been almost trying to be too perfect with it. He's been really trying to place the ball, which I've seen, especially because I remember a game in against, I think it was Cincy. He had about 3 of like almost the exact same shots where he was just like, you could see what he was trying to do, and he was just that little bit off. Like you could literally see like he tried to bend into the far corner, and you could just see like that he just hit it that little bit not right, and you could just tell on his face he's like, I'm not clicking right now.
Yeah, and he wasn't dialed in exactly yet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what a game to start getting dialed in.
Ironic timing, I would say.
It's interesting. I mean,
Also, with the Euro coming up. That's
yeah. Something I thought was interesting is that, you know what I didn't notice a lot of this game, which I typically notice a lot of? Errant, overweighted, underweighted passes. We were really, really efficient with our passing. There weren't a lot of times where people were just like, well, that was the pass you did all the way over there? I'm over here. Over there? Really? That's what you did? So there wasn't a lot of that this game. I was really happy to see that, like, people are actually threading passes really good. There was like a couple that were really freaking good that completely unlocked the defense. There was one that almost made it through from, what was it? From Yako to Thiago. Almost happened, but was it Christoph, whatever his name is, that like almost pulled his hamstring to stop that? Like, that was, I mean, those types of passes, I'm like, I haven't seen this level of accuracy and this like through ball, like finely weighted passes. I haven't seen that in like so long, and it was so good to see. Like, it threw Miami for fits. They were like, "What? We need to get back. We need to do this. We need to do that. We need to be here. We need to be there." It was amazing to see us manipulate their team by moving the ball efficiently around the pitch.
I have a question off that. This is just my thought against that. That kind of, I think we were kind of dialed in tonight, which I think is one reason why that's also. But I think also tonight we had a lot of space, which meant that we didn't have to be perfect. And I think that's been a lot of the issues that we've seen is not every person on the team can hit that perfect ball. And whenever you have that space, it's just every pass is going to look good. I think we were also, I think Thiago looked better tonight. I think he was hitting the ball a lot better tonight than he usually did. But I think that's also, they just gave us a lot of space. Like, we created a lot of space because of good play. So I think that tied into that.
So it's like two things, right? Is that they gave us space and we created it for ourselves. Typically, we don't do a lot of the creating, and typically we aren't given a lot because of teams that like to high press on us. So, yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, we were able to win the ball in like semi-dangerous areas, but then also play quickly, play it direct, and yeah, like you're saying, like you don't have to be as accurate when there's so much space to play in. That, but yeah, there were some balls that were just weighted so well that they were hit perfectly, and maybe it is that you need to be able to see. It's the confidence thing. Like, once you hit some balls, perfectly, or at least you see your teammates run onto them, and you can just build on that. You can be like, oh, okay, yeah, I can do this. Like, it is. It ultimately, it's like from Sunday League or whichever to Major League. It boils down to the same things. Like, players, they need to be able to see kind of the results of a good performance in order to build on it, and that's really the hope, right?
There was one time where Thiago, like, he was trying to thread a couple of passes up to the front, and they were like slightly not quite getting there. And then one time he just, because he was seeing Saba making the runs, and he went, screw it, I'm just going to send it. And I know Saba's going to run onto it. And he did. Yeah. And it was like Miguel Almiron level of like, I'm going to toss it and you're going to go. And it was exciting. It was great to see. That was the swashbuckling era that we miss. And that was good. I'm like, are we back? Are we back to it? I would like to see more of that. I really, really hope they continue to do that style. I mean, just Saba wants to run. Let the boy run, for Christ's sake. Like, let him do it. Like, Firmino, when he was out there, he wants to run. These players, they're willing to do the work. And we lacked a little bit of, like, when Thiago's not on the pitch, to have that vision to find that pass, to just go, screw it, I'm going to place that ball perfectly for you, or at least as close to perfect as I can get it. And you're fast enough, Saba, and you're, dogged enough that you will track that ball down and create a problem for Miami. And it was just, I haven't seen that in so long that it was like, it was like a breath of fresh air, you know? It was like coming up to breathe for the first time in a long time.
Mm-hmm. It really was, because it's basically there were those moments from past matches that basically, you saw a player that maybe, got the ball stuck under them. They maybe released the ball too late, and another player that is wanting to make the run, but they're checking. They're still seeing if they're going to play the ball or not, instead of just trusting, running, because they're in our half. Like, if you're in our half, just make the run. Just trust that it's coming. Like, you're not going to be offside. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, just do it. And we did that this match. There was a second counterattack that, could have amounted to something if we were still a little not clinical in this match, but won't be too critical. But I mean, Mascara could have had a couple chances to put the ball in the back of the net.
It's Mascara, so I mean,
yeah, it is exactly. But we were able to utilize him in the best possible way, which is seeing out a match and just running the defense ragged. I think
textbook.
That's what you use him for. But
exactly.
But yeah, Connor, final thoughts.
I like that we played from the beginning. I like that. I really like that we changed. I like the change. I think that's something that we haven't really seen Pineda do, and I like that he did it. And I hope that we see that he continues to be able to do it, not only in a game where you're almost believing not that you're going to win. I hope that we see him continue to move the team around and make changes and do things differently, because I think it's clear that what was happening wasn't working. So if it's not working, then let's change it. But overall, I think if we win Sunday against a very different looking team, I think I'll almost have turned the page completely. I think it really also depends on if we can play differently again and we see similar things, even if we don't win, if we get a draw or something, because I think Charlotte have been pretty good defensively recently. So I think that's going to be one issue for us, is if we can score, then I think we have a good chance. But if we don't, then I think that's going to be the key thing, is if we can score, I think we'll continue go. I think they'll continue going in, honestly. But it's just that first goal for us, because I think that also is once we score the first one, we tend to kick it into gear then, which is starting from the beginning.
Why? Yeah, I don't know. What's different about this game? I don't know. I don't know what's different about this game.
A thought here, it's almost like we were down and out to begin with. So I think that we almost came in knowing that we had to be better. So I think that's one thing. Again, kind of in the mindset that we think at the Benz and even in away games against better or worse teams than us, quote unquote, they think that we're gonna, if we can just glide until we find that one opportunity and then we go and then we kickstart. I mean, I think it's just mindset, honestly. I think if we turn this page and we just keep on, if we get clicking, I think we're good to go. I'm still iffy on Pineda right now, but we'll see how it boils down. I think
that's what's interesting is Pineda mentioned after the match that it was less about or he even mentioned it wasn't really what he changed. It was more, I think I'm paraphrasing here, more what's between the ears, which is super interesting. I think it's a little bit of protection for himself, a bit, in that, I've been coaching them to do the right things, so finally they were able to kind of switch it on, and now they're playing more motivated or something. Or maybe it's also meaning that it is what you're saying, it is playing with that better mentality that they want to be killers. They want to, be the protagonist instead of kind of letting the game roll by them. But I think time will tell, I guess, truly what he means there. But interesting nonetheless. Yeah. But,
thanks, Connor. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight.
I could see it being either way for him, though. Honestly, I think it could go either way. But I just don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
again, like I said, I didn't predict anything that was going to happen in this game, so who the heck knows what's going to happen at this point? That's wild.
I had a 4-1 defeat for us, so my mom was like, I think you got the score wrong. I was like, oh, great, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, thanks, Connor.
All right, see you guys.
Take care, bud. All right, I wanted to check out this meme on my phone, but I'm gonna check it out on my phone before I try and bring it up on the computer to show you guys. But guys, one of those TikTok memes, man, and I don't do TikTok, so yeah, it's
I mean,
I'll have to,
you'll have to pull it up. You'll have to pull it up on the actual website, probably.
Yeah, I'd have to, but I have to. That would also like mess up my thing I got going right now, so we're not going to do that. So let me read the chat for a minute, because there's all right, gosh, all right, you guys are going to make me work tonight with all this reading. All right, so
we'll read the highlights. You know, it's fun. You don't have to read every single bit.
Let's see. Connor Thompson says, on Pineda, if we win Open Cup and no other good coaching options available, sign until 2026. He says, sign Pineda until 2026 if there's no other good, coaching options open. And he wins Open Cup. That's a big if. Now, let's see. Ellie Beaven says, good counter-attacking football. Indeed. Toddy says, we looked that Atlanta United that played earlier this season. We've Williams and Gregerson back. Yes, we do. Christopher Abraham says, amazing game. Let's see how it goes from now. Still debating if Pineda should leave, but somehow his tactics worked today. And if he keeps it like this, I'm for Pineda. But we'll see next game. Let me just message someone real quick. And then...
Well, the question is about keeping it like this. Is roster construction is still very important because, like I've mentioned, I am extremely reticent to believe that us playing Lennon and Wiley as our fullbacks can last an entire season, because Ronaldo Hernandez, again, is the only senior understudy at both positions.
Yeah.
Like, one of them, if they go down or if they have any sort of injury, I shudder. It's trouble. So, we absolutely need to kind of replenish the coffers during the summer transfer window to really make sure that if we want to move forward like this, that we do. Tommy, what's up, man? How are you?
Ed?
There you go. We can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Alright. I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, oh, what's this button do? And then I showed up. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, you're a Discord savant. You got it.
Yeah, you got this, man. But welcome back to the show. Welcome back to Atlanta United Fan TV. But let us have your thoughts.
We won. It was great. I mean, the most unexpected win since Seattle last year.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is way even more unexpected than that. But that was, yes, I agree, very unexpected. But I mean, Messi in Messi's house. Woo! Like I said, I staked, drowning myself in beer over this, and so I had no aspirations that we're gonna win this game.
Did you stone cold the beer, like 2 beers and smash them together?
Yep. I put it on film on here, and you can watch it in the playback. Yes, I had to take a shower afterwards.
Okay. I mean, that's the point of sports, right? To enjoy it.
To do that, yes.
And yell on the internet when they lose. So I think you're hitting it perfect.
I'm doing it right. Good. I'm glad.
From all aspects.
Because if I wasn't, I'd be very upset.
Right.
It did. But yeah, Tommy. I mean, in terms of your expectations going into the match, and then how they were, I would assume they were exceeded. What's been the roller coaster the past maybe 12 hours.
I mean, I thought they were going to lose 3-0. It didn't seem like this team could really get into scoring opportunities, and when they did, they were wasting them, right? Like, you look at that LA game, Rio scores on that shot in the box. I mean, it's a completely different game, but he didn't, right? And you're only getting that game. You got more shots on target, but you had the battery game, one shot. I think like all 120 minutes. Nashville, one shot, but you scored a banger. Like the confidence that you have in this team it was just hard. And then you're playing the best team. They're rested. What's going to happen here? And they look like the more tired team. They look like they all played, right? I mean, they were showing their age finally.
Which, yeah, I mean,
do you think that's what it was? Do you think that's the X factor here?
I do think that Miami's is built for like regular season and maybe short cups. I don't know. Like, I just ultimately see them by the end of the year getting down there. You have younger teams that have a lot of talent, like a Columbus or Cincinnati, and when they ultimately have to either play in a best of three or after you get out of that best of three, they're gonna tire themselves out. I don't have a lot of confidence in this team long term. Like, go win your other cups, see if you can win Supporter Shield, see if you can win Leagues Cup again. But I still say by the time you get to the playoffs, this team is just not built for it.
It'll be fascinating. Yeah, time will tell. But yeah, as far as Atlanta United, I mean, obviously the 2 goals, I've been kind of terming them a little bit more moments of magic. And the third goal was, definitely a little bit more of a team goal. But do you feel like it's replicable? Do you feel like, we can carry this forward?
I mean, Saba deserved these goals, right? I mean, missed opportunities, crazy saves. He was bound to get those. I don't know. Confidence is a weird thing in sports in general, right? And when a player starts playing with a little confidence, things change. I'm not saying this is the same situation, but we talked about it on our stream. Like, remember that game in the middle of the summer? All of a sudden they get Justin Meram, and then the offense starts clicking. It's like right after the All-Star break. All of a sudden goals are happening. It's not just Joseph having to score, 1 goal, win 1-0. The whole team starts scoring. We're back. Could this be the situation? I'm not overreacting and saying yes, but it's a start. And if they don't, Sunday's going to be very telling, right? You go into the Benz and you pull out an LAFC or Nashville game out there. People are going to be very confused on if Wednesday actually was a real thing or it was just a bad trip.
So you're not convinced that it's replicable?
I can't say after one game.
Yeah, it's. I agree. It's very hard to say. Like, I'm not like there was a lot of team aspects to this win. I mean, I talked about earlier the fact that the passing was so damn crisp. It didn't look disjointed. It didn't look like there wasn't any chemistry, which typically that's what it looks like. I don't know what clicked. Like what changed? I can't even speculate as to what it could have been, because there should have been that thing that happened in 9 other games before this, but it didn't. Why now? I don't know. Do you have any theories or ideas?
I mean, there'd be games where you didn't even think like these guys had ever played together before.
Yeah.
Like you're getting 4-on-2 rushes, and all of a sudden it just stops because you don't know where one of the guys are running, and now everything has to stop, and now the scoring chance is dead. I mean, we saw that quite a few times. It was in Chicago. I think that was like the big game where they just kept having these odd man rushes and just couldn't finish. And that's today, like you said, it felt like they were a team again, that they actually knew what was going on. And that's just weird that it takes a formation change. I mean, you get a couple players back.
Is that what it is?
Time, like Williams. I don't know. I can't figure this team out right now. Like, I can't figure out if we're going to see this again on Sunday. Like, I don't know if I have confidence for that. Maybe I'm just broken of all the games that we've watched lately. That might be it.
As like a pattern recognizing animal that I am, this is really messing with my brain.
I mean, but yeah, Tommy, you and me both, brother. We're yeah, I'm broken as well, and it is definitely it's tough on a daily to like weekly basis. You know, we're both covering LA United, and it makes it where, you know, the trust in the team is not quite there. You know, of course, we're always gonna hold the faith that we can do something. You know, that's why we're supporters. But it is deep down, it's the heart and mind, and the mind is unfortunately louder right now than, you know, a lot of what the heart says. But, you know, with Charlotte coming up, with a side that's more mid-table, you know, what they're going to do is a lot different than what Inter Miami is going to do. You know, what's your faith in our ability to be able to, I guess, be clinical in front of goal and finish off our chances, finish our dinner?
Let's see if the momentum's a thing, right? Like, I mean, you even look at Mascaro. Like, I mean, yeah, he didn't score, but he had a couple great chances that he hasn't had in quite some time, right? I don't know. Again, it's weird. What I don't understand, as you're talking about that, it just doesn't make sense of what you did in the off season and then what you brought into it, right? You fixed your problems. You
Exactly.
fixed allowing the most goals, right? You were fixing that. You stacked your center backs. You got Slish in there, but your forwards you kept almost exactly the same. And now all of a sudden they can't score for anything. They can't even create opportunities for anything. This team makes no sense at all. And I wish it would. Like, if we're just bad, I'd rather, like, there's been years where we're just a terrible team, right? And I'm okay understanding we're a terrible team. It'll get better. But in a situation like this, you know you are more talented on the field than what you were last year. Okay? If you've got to allow a couple more goals to help create the offense, to win games, that's great. But having one shot on goal and consistently, or two, it's not a recipe for success. So you got to get it figured out. Maybe this is it. I don't know. Is Pineda still here? I was guaranteeing that he was going to be gone.
Listen, man,
right?
You're right. It's literally like everything is a variable in flux at this very moment. Anything can happen. I was saying earlier, I came up with the comparison to Seattle's like zombie nature, that they like to have a resurgence in the latter part of the season. And I'm like, are we that team now? Like, what is happening? Are we becoming something else? Is the nature of this team changing? Are our expectations changing? Like, it's just such a weird, like, I sympathize with you. It's like
of LA United, where
I mean, that's why my mind kind of goes there because of the associations, right? But like, it's just,
right.
I don't know. It's hard to, like you said, it's hard to predict or understand this animal, this new thing, if this is what this is, or if we continue to be, this is a one-off outlier, like I kind of said at the beginning. It's very reasonable this could be an outlier that, you know, this fades after this game. It's fair. Statistics will probably tell you that that's the case, but we'll see.
And I think that's the greater question: is the aspect of what we've all been saying, that Gonzalo Pineda should probably be gone. In some people's estimations, he should be gone. But for one result, for it to shake what that thought process was, should he actually be gone? I mean, that's the greater question, and I put it to you, Tommy. I'm gonna hit you hard with this question, man. Like, should he be gone after the Charlotte match? Result notwithstanding, doesn't matter what the result is. Should he be gone?
I think so. I think you've had a large enough sample size. I guess the worry is do they feel they have a better chance winning with Pineda over whoever guy they're just going to fill in temporarily, right? Temporarily bring him in and just be like, I hope he does better. Or do you try to give him the opportunity there? Like, eventually there's going to be a game where the entire crowd is booing. You had people 2 home games ago, change the chants to "We effing suck," and it showed up on the Apple on the Apple TV, and like you're like, okay, like this is gonna start getting bad. People are gonna start wearing garbage bags over their heads. Like that's when things happen.
I'm partial to the like they hold the the whole supporters they hold the arrow that points to the net. You know, like all the crowds are pointing to the net to be like, this is where you score. By the way, I'm partial to that. I want to do that if we start not able to score again.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you should. I mean, if you follow sports in other leagues, usually this type of long performance for being one of the top tier teams you're supposed to be, usually gets you gone here. I don't know. I still think that if the moment someone's available, I mean, Garth is looking for who's here in the future. I don't think he's going. I think there's a 0% chance Pineda'S here at the end of the year. 0.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I bet my eyebrows on it. Apparently.
Congratulations, by the way. That's a good. That's good that you stake things like that, like hair parts.
Yeah, I shaved my beard when they did beat Chicago, but I got the message. Someone actually took a picture and photoshopped me out with no eyebrows. It's hard to tell, but my wife said, and I quote, "The dry spell that would ensue cannot be understated."
Oh no!
Yeah, I'm sorry. You gotta go. You gotta go, buddy.
Yeah, you have to make up for it in a lot of other ways, I guess. If
I'm not glad. I actually would prefer this if you were actually living here in Atlanta, so you could be at the press conferences, have a press pass, and then literally go up and tell him, like, "Listen, bro, I love you, but let's be real. This is starting to hurt at home, and you gotta go."
Just imagine going to opening day. That first day, sitting up front and just having no eyebrows. Yeah. Like he would just be looking, and if he didn't say anything, then he doesn't have a soul. Like that would prove it.
I mean, and imagine like a new coach like comes in, and you still have the remnants of like a failed bet or something like that from the lackluster abilities of the team before, and then he sees that and goes like, yeah, the stakes at this team are pretty high, I guess. Even their local media are taking the hits for not doing so well. I should really step it up.
I'm down. But yeah, like what you're saying, AJ, like just thinking about it, like in general, I think he should be gone. But Garth is looking for someone, and I don't care. Like I don't care if this team's on a 5-game win streak. At that point, if your guy is available, you have to take that chance. You have to fire Pineda. It's not long. This new guy is supposed to be the long-term answer. Bring him on, and call it a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and fully agree with that because this is what it is. Like you have to raise your standards, and sometimes you have somebody that they might be okay or pretty good for the job, but if you can find somebody better, that's just part of the business. And so,
exactly.
Let's be honest. We can find somebody better. That part is gonna be easy. But will we convince them to come here this year? That's the question, and who is that going to be? But yeah, I mean, final thoughts.
I got to see it again. It was so nice. I got to see it twice, right? Like they can't just prep the bed on Sunday. Like that's just so important here. I mean, for this team, long lasting, and let's see what happens with a couple of these players. Like I thought Mamba played great. Like he's attacking again, and like I was wondering, like I thought that was going to happen all season, where he was going to be able to attack more and let Sleesh do the dirty work. Well, in a game where Sleesh wasn't there, he's moving forward more. Again, doesn't make any sense at all. But here we are. Like it's just like I was hoping that would happen. Like everybody was attacking. Nobody seemed afraid. And when you have a Gregerson and a Williams and Lennon and Wiley, and now you're adding a Braum to this in the back five, you can be a little bit more cocky attacking, knowing that you got those guys back there that have already proven that they can do what they can do. Again, then when you add Sleesh back into it, I think it's even better. But again, it's just got to make sense.
Right. It's a great point. I mean, instead of unleash the Sleesh, you gotta. Well, it's not as catchy, but unleash the Muyumba. We'll figure something out for Muyumba here. But yeah, always great to speak with you, Tommy, and yeah, have a great rest of your night.
Drink 2 more beers.
Yeah.
2 more.
All right.
Just 2
All
more.
right, see you guys.
See ya.
See you, man.
Oh boy. All right, let's get into the chat a little bit more. And we'll have, I think, one more guest coming on here in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Our good friend Anu wants to hop on in. Oh, we have 2 more guests. Sorry. Yes, it is a big night in Atlanta, everybody. We got a W. Everyone's up.
Party of the streets.
Yeah, we are. Yeah. Again, like I said, we won the beating Miami in Miami against Messi Cup tonight, and that's very important to me. Christopher, yeah, we already said that. Elliot Bevan says, well, Williams and Gregerson coming back makes the defense better. Absolutely. I don't think this game will save Pineda'S job, though. Merrick says, Almada's performance tonight looked like the player that he was last season. Agree. False Start Podcast says, Saba is my sunshine. He definitely was tonight. Absolutely. BTM says, one of the first games that we haven't kept the majority of possession ends up being our best game. Interesting. Isn't that how that works? Jack Dickens says, great win. That's the Atlanta I love. Adam Da 2024 says, the L pizza again? I don't know. Maybe. Tadia says, we need a blooper on the staff at some point. Yeah, that would be fun to see something like that with the staff, or maybe the media or something like that. They are doing the media game soon, I think. So keep your eyes out for that. That's always fun, watching Tyler scuff his lines and stuff like that. So, and if Tommy were here, that'd be great if he would be able to do that. But let's see. Antara Moody says, should have put a C note on the 5 stripes. Damn. Lou Theos says, where did this team come from? That's what I was saying. I was literally saying that out loud. Connor Thompson says, is Tata washed? Many Inter people have complained about him. Interesting. Joshua Isla says, I'm so happy they won. Louis says, just hope this isn't a one-off. More, please. The ATL guy says, let's go. Elliot Beam says, let's go. They are responding to me doing the Stone Cold Steve Austin thing. ATL UTD 316 says, we just whipped your butt. Connor Thompson says, before I head to bed, what's the truth of this rumor? Atlanta is looking to shop Gigi in the league. Some dumb Redditor posted it. Well, not necessarily dumb. They actually are looking to shop him, not necessarily, but possibly, but not in this league, in Liga MX. So Cruz Azul has offered multiple times, and it seems like they're going to be coming with a fairly big offer soon that could tempt Atlanta United in a serious way. So look out for that. Look out for news reports coming in the next week or so about possible interest, and Cruz Azul specifically. There's apparently some other clubs too trying to come into the running. Things are heating up. I don't know if he's going to be around forever. We'll have to see. We don't know where it's going to go or how it's going to end up. Keep an eye out. That's all I can say. Drew says, it's kind of true. There's been 2 offers from him. Atlanta has rejected them both. Yeah, I mean, he's an essential part. He's an essential part of our team. He's a very good player. We don't necessarily want him to go easily. It's going to take a lot to pry him away. It'll be interesting to see if teams like Cruz Azul can come up with something like an offer that will get him away from us. Let's see. And Tara Moody says, Atlanta sports gods say only one Atlanta team may win on the same night. Atlanta United, yay, the Braves lost. Son of a bitch. Jeffrey Barber says, was Messi in the lineup for Miami? He absolutely was, and he was pocketed by the boys tonight. Omar GS says, played the full game. Yeah, I know, it's weird. They played the whole game. It's so rare that happens, it seems like. They're so sleepy usually in the first half. Jeffrey Barber says, impressive win over Miami. Indeed. Tommy Moose. That was Tommy who just was on the stream earlier. We are partying until Sunday, absolutely. John M says, too late to say we need a Pineda statue? Oof. And New says, Cook And Elliot says, good game. John M says, lower possession and less time on the ball worked for us tonight. Omar says, we score and kick into gear or give a goal right away. Haha. Elliot says, should Cohen save that Messi goal? That's an interesting question. I don't think so. It's Messi. You can't really just be like, you should have done better against Messi. It's hard to say you should have done better against the best player on earth to ever play the game. It's really, really hard to say that, so I'm not going to say that about Josh Cohen.
Right. Also, it was this. If you watch it, there was a slight deflection that pretty much, made it really, really unstoppable. And it's as worm burner as it gets. Like, it's just no, like, greater goalkeepers have failed to stop Messi's shots. The
best in the world.
Yeah.
Have had trouble against Messi. I mean, and Josh Cohen did admirable knowing that. So, let's do a couple more. Walter Haverhale says, I put on my super tight XL Original 17s kit and hat out of desperation. I'm not saying that it didn't work. We love your efforts. We commend your fashion sense, and we appreciate what you've done for us as a team, as a whole, as a community tonight. Connor Watson says, we have 3 strikers, so no. Do we actually have 3? Pineda doesn't know what changed either. It was all heart tonight. Yeah, I agree with that. It seemed like it was a lot of heart tonight. I knew. Are you here, buddy?
Why, yes, I am.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, man. We were cooking tonight, huh?
Yeah, we cooking tonight, buddy. What's going on? Where's your video? You doing video tonight?
Oh, yeah, let me turn it on. Let's see here. Yep, there we go.
Appreciate you, buddy. How you doing?
Yeah, right now I'm in the lift right now. We're about to hit a club right now.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, I came in with so much doubt. I thought we were gonna lose that game, but to get out with that win and we beat out the Barcelona amigos, shoot, crazy. It's so crazy right now.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I know you can't believe it. None of us can believe it. It's unreal. It feels like we're living in a fantasy land right now.
Yeah, I'm about to get off my lift right now.
All right, tell them, Vamos ATL.
Yeah, Vamos ATL. I mean, for real, it's like, we can't even, I mean, for real, like, Stan Gregerson, how he pocketed Luis Suarez, I tell you, man, it's so crazy.
Yeah.
It
was incredible, dude. I can't, I love Stian so much. He's such a good signing for us. Someone was saying in the Discord the other day, I think, and maybe on Reddit, that this guy, there's shouts for this guy to be captaining our team very, very soon. And I'm like, I'm not opposed to it. This guy puts fight, effort, everything, energy, and you know what? He's perhaps giving this team life, new life.
Definitely. I mean, he's really out. He's that number 6 we've needed for a long time since Nagby left. And you know, the thing is, he didn't play that many games this year, did he?
No,
and he hasn't. But yeah, number 6 usually is a defensive midfielder. But I think you mean a number 3 or number 4. But yeah, for sure. Or not number 3, 4, number 5. But either way, yeah, it's as far as kind of your expectations going into this match, you mentioned it a little bit that you didn't have high hopes, but what was the thing that surprised you the most out of this match?
I'd say the one thing that surprised me was Thiago Almada had a little spark today. He got the captain's armband today, and of course, he's meeting with his with basically his captain of the team, and I believe he said like, "Hey, look, I got to show off to my senior, to my senior." And he really popped off today. Him and also Caleb Wiley. Caleb Wiley. Congratulations to him. He's going to the Olympics. So he wanted to show off a little bit today. I mean, there was one scene where I saw him guarding Messi, and all I can think about to myself is, man, he's out there. He's guarding such a big player who's been there for so many years. Running all over Europe and stuff.
Do you think that has something to do with it? The fact that, the Olympics and Copa America and everything are looming, and that these players are showing out a little bit because of that. Is that part of the X factor?
Yeah, that's probably it. I mean, I was going through other memes, and people were like kind of upset about saying that, Campana's probably not going to go get called up to Ecuador. People were mad about how come Cremesi didn't get on the field because he also got picked to be the Olympics, because clearly there was nothing clicking, especially when they had that raw ass kid from Paraguay. From Paraguay, he didn't even become a factor. We completely shut them down, and just seeing them score after score after score, I'm like, whoa, we might get a win out of this. And in fact, we played it for 90 minutes. We played all four of those players for 90 minutes.
They were trying. They were trying to win, yeah, and they just couldn't do it.
Yeah, dude, I'm just flabbergasted.
Yeah, because Saba's going to Euros as well. So, I mean, what a hell of a game to send off on.
Hell of a game. Got himself a brace. Jamal Traore, good job for him. Good job from him.
Indeed. Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of great goals this match. Which one was your favorite?
Jeez. Yeah, also, shout out to all the fans, all the Atlanta fans that showed up. I mean, there were about maybe 100 of us who got tickets from the team, and then also there was a bunch of other fans who paid, the high prices to go there because they were coming in thinking about they were going to see Messi, but at the same time they wanted to see the team play. And some people were talking about saying they can hear us on the broadcast.
They did. Yeah.
Yeah, they showed you guys a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it was somebody. Who was that guy? Somebody on the Discord, man, said "Oh, yo, here's you on TV, bro."
Yeah, dude. Join our Discord, Atlanta United Fan TV Discord. I'll throw the link into the chat, guys. It's a great place. We got away team members like New going out to Fort Lauderdale to represent the club. We got everyone at our home games that we go to. We got all of the supporters group members. It's come on in if you want to be part of the community. It's a great time, and we'll give you some. What are we gonna give them, AJ? Think of something we can give them. We have giveaways. That's what I was trying to think of. We have some giveaways that are coming up in the next couple weeks. So please stop by if you want some flags. We have an interesting lockbox we're going to be giving away as well. We'll have some pictures on the Discord if you want to see some of these items. It'll be interesting. Give it a look. Join us up, and then participate in the community. It's a great time.
Yeah. One person said to me is man, you look obviously my Infinity Gauntlet was taken. So one person put out a say that you lost your gauntlet and we won. I'm like, well, I guess somewhere wherever it is, it probably just activated itself and said, I'm just gonna delete the Miami defense, and we basically just ran them down.
Yeah, dude, Saba found that gauntlet in the locker room before the game. That's what it was, dude. That's the only way. I mean, he was a supernatural being tonight. It was incredible.
I know, right?
Yeah, so on that, before I let you go, final thoughts, man on the match. What you got?
Man of the match, Saba. Got Saba. He was, like I said, he was very motivated that he's going to represent Georgia in their first ever Euros, the Euros. I also say, Gregerson did a great job keeping Suarez afoot, and also shout out to Jamal Traore. He doesn't score much, but when he got on, he took advantage of the situation.
Yeah, he looked way better than normal. I mean, all of the players looked supercharged tonight. Like it was like some kind of something possessed them to just really push the envelope and press Miami, make them uncomfortable in every single way. It was, I like I said it before, and I'll say it again. This is a different team. This was a different team.
Oh yeah, definitely. I just hope we get this momentum up for Sunday, man. Because Sunday, I'm hearing words. I'm hearing a lot of Charlotte fans coming down this Sunday.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like, if this is a confidence-based team, this is what they needed. So hopefully,
a big confidence producer. I mean, for everybody, the team, the fans, and also for Pineda, because he was getting this cycle that we were going through. Was getting a lot of people up and at him. I mean, just see people just like booing, like the boos have been crazy in the stadium. So
yeah, man.
Just to see that excitement of a win, especially. I mean, this is probably going to be. I would say this. I mean, this is for a regular season. This is probably going to be our biggest win for years to come.
Probably. I mean, you can't point to many times. I mean, this is. I read this stat earlier tonight that very few. Like it took. What was it, like 3 years or something like that? That a team that Messi was on lost. By 2 goal margin or something like that, or whatever it was.
Yeah. So it was basically Messi scoring. Basically, it's been 3 years since a team beat a side that Messi scored on.
Club side, yeah, it's incredible that that's pretty historic. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna hang my hat on that. That's a feather in the cap. That'll stick with us for a while. Like AJ said earlier, that's a very, very valuable scout. So we're gonna hold that for a bit.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, it's nice talking to you guys. I gotta go.
Dude, have a great rest of the night. We'll speak to you soon, man.
Yes, yeah.
Take care, bud. All right, we have one last guest to come on in, but before that, I'm gonna read the chat for a few things, and then when he comes in here, I'm gonna hit the bathroom real quick, and I'll be right back. Because man,
we've been on a marathon. Yeah,
we've been on marathon, and you saw earlier I was really getting into those beers. So that's that. Let's see.
You're like 4 beers in or something.
Yeah, minimum. Let's see. It's Connor says it's hard to justify taking up 4 squad spots with strikers. Yeah, that we kind of have. Did you guys like Almada as captain tonight? I think it changed him today for the better. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting thing to kind of give a player that is younger, but obviously the most talented player on the team, and for him to walk the team out for the first time, I think it shows a little bit more of a responsibility that he has to have, and that's good. He's definitely playing with pride for Argentina, but for Atlanta United, kind of wanted to see that. So I agree, it is something that should help him should he take it seriously, and he took it seriously tonight. Hopefully it continues.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to see that continue. I love to see a full power Almada going off, because we saw that what that was like tonight. I mean, yeah, he didn't score, but I mean, He could have. It could have. I mean, he's still doing those grounders. He's still hitting them grounders. But like, I mean, he's close, and I mean that would have been a complete full game from him. So, I mean, did great. And next game, hopefully, he can build on that, which, hopefully the whole team can. Anyway, so we're gonna have our next guest, Jack. Right? Do I remember your name correctly? Oh, good. My memory isn't as bad as I thought. Awesome. So, AJ, please ask Jack a question while I use the bathroom because, oh my God.
I got you, man. But anyway, Jack, let us have your thoughts, man.
This was just a different team. This was 2017-2018 Atlanta United, right? They were killers. I don't know what exactly changed with their mentality. Whatever it was, I hope they keep it that way. But their tactics changed too. We didn't bust forward like we usually did. We held back in reserve a little bit, and we waited for Miami to make a mistake, to mess you to run into a wall or something, and we just took off down the field. I mean, that was crazy to watch. I was like,
I mean, absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely a game that you couldn't really bet on, but if you did, my God, you're making out like a bandit. And as far as that goes, if somebody told you that Messi would score tonight and yet Atlanta United would still win, you probably would bite their hand off for that. But as far as kind of, I guess, maybe a favorite moment in this match, did you have one that kind of stood out from the rest?
Not really, because there were so many different moments where I was like, yes, finally, they're doing what I thought they should be doing this entire season. I mean, I said it in the last stream in the chat that maybe this team would be better off doing a more counter-attacking style, more that kind of, less of the European have all this possession, pass the ball around kind of thing. Because our wingers are super fast. Sabo is getting up to 20 miles per hour over there on the right side. Wiley's super quick. We got a lot of very quick players on this team, and they could hurt you in that transitional moment. And I always thought that they could benefit better from that. So we'll see what happens on Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Certainly. I mean, with that type of that mentality change to pretty much absorb that pressure and hit them quick on the counter. For you, I mean, do you feel like we can do that against a side that probably won't be possessing the ball as much, in Charlotte, who also are a team that don't really need the ball as much? And so, when you have two teams that don't really need the ball as much, or maybe that's their best way to attack, well, it usually will favor the home team. So, how do you see Atlanta United adjusting so that we can get those best moments, which require space for us?
Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be pushing up a little higher up the field and trying to lure Charlotte out of their comfort zone. Just kind of get them inch forward little by little, because all you need is that one moment to strike, and because blood's in the water and you can go off and running. But I think that's what it's going to have to be. We're not going to be able to just do what we were doing the last 9 games. It's going to have to be, we're going to have to find a way to lure them out and do what we did. I mean, I'm no coach, so.
No, I mean, it's no, I appreciate you humoring me there. But as far as kind of, we saw 3 goals, which it's been quite some time since we have. But which goal was your favorite?
Um, maybe either Saba's like a second goal because it's either that one or the last one. The reason for Saba's was because just watching him run up and then watching Lennon come around and putting their back in that position of, oh god, I now have to make a choice. And he went for it and got that goal. But the other one was Wiley doing what he did and that cross in and finally seeing TRA get his goal. And he puts in a lot of work, so it was good to see him get one.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it is, I think refreshing to see Caleb Wiley in
Yes.
higher up positions because that's really where he's thrived for us, and a little bit less defensive responsibilities, still some, obviously, with having to make sure that he can keep Messi off of the stat sheet, but as we found out, super difficult to do. But yeah, did you feel like was there a difference between Josh Cohen's performance and Brad Guzan's normally tonight?
Yeah, I do think so. I think Cohen's just quicker in general. He just looks a lot quicker coming off his line, and I think that does help the back line a little bit because not only is he physically quicker, he almost seemed like he was mentally quicker. Because there was a moment where, was it Williams, where he was shielding? I guess it was Suarez, and he was like, get the ball, and Cohen came off his line super quickly, where I think Brad usually took maybe a little bit longer sometimes.
Yeah, I think Brad's body doesn't respond as quick as Cohen's does. They can be both mentally on the same page at the same time, but Cohen's just gonna be able to respond faster because he's younger and he's more athletic. Mm-hmm. And that's just the way it is for that. Comparing those two players, Brad could make the right exact decision, but still just not be able to. I thought in the Nashville game against Hani Mukhtar, he probably made the right decision in his mind, but his body was too slow to make the right play to keep up with it. And then it caught himself, in a bad position. But I think Josh Cohen, to your point, will be able to match those things, right? The speed of his thinking with the speed of his body, and then you see an effective goalkeeping procedure. So hopefully that continues. More often than not, there's issues that I think can be remedied by just being more, quicker, having a better reaction time. They aren't that often. There's not a lot of times where Brad is beaten due to things like reaction time in this season. Other seasons notwithstanding, but this season at least, there haven't been too many. There's been a couple, but it is what it is. Even so, Josh Cohen makes me feel a lot more confident in that he's going to be able to get to those higher reaching balls at a fast speed, and his reaction time can get there. I think that gives me a lot more confidence going forward. Makes me feel better with him in net. I don't think, if you want to talk about leadership, which not that you guys brought this up yet, but Brad's leadership didn't seem to be necessarily needed in this match. If anything, it didn't seem necessary at all. It just whatever gave the team their motivation or their urgency or whatever it was tonight that spurred their ability to beat Miami of all teams in their own home, and David slaying the Goliath kind of thing. I don't think it was Brad's leadership. So
right, sometimes it's not about the verbal or kind of outward. It's more about pretty much your actions, and if you can lead by example. And I think you have a lot more players that are talking a lot more. You see Stian Gregerson, you see Derek Williams being extremely kind of I think, communicative to each other instead of. Sometimes you have those players that are just very shouty, but they're not necessarily in the right places themselves. But I think you saw guys that are switched on, talking to each other. I think also as well Dax McCarty, in there, like he's obviously a very very seasoned veteran, and with that he knows where players need to be, and he. I think was a factor tonight as well in making sure that we were able to contain Messi. But final thoughts.
This team just felt a lot more confident than usual. I don't know if that's the change in goal, and the defenders just felt more comfortable and confident with going in. And that allowed everybody else to say, all right, we got this. The defense we know is solid now. But also, like, a Dax McCarty kind of guy. He played that Jeff Lorenowitz kind of role. It was quiet. You didn't really notice it. But I guarantee you, if you look back, he did a lot of dirty work that needed to be done. But, yeah, I hope they put on this performance on Sunday, especially since I'll be there.
Nice. Yeah, be sure to meet up with AJ. There's a potential I could show up too. I got offered free tickets. If I have the availability in my schedule, we will see. We will see.
Indeed. Well, all right, man. Well, great pleasure, and have a great rest of your night, man.
Thanks, Jack.
See you guys later.
Take care.
See you, man.
All right. Well, that pretty much does it with the guests tonight. We will look at some more of the comments in the chat, which there are aplenty. Let's try and get through some of them. We want to hear from all you guys. Please get your comments in. This will be probably the last time reading through the chat tonight, so get them all in when you still have the chance. Connor Watson says, but it's hard to say this will stick, though, since it's taken over 9 games to change. Walter says, changed my mind on that after tonight. Give it one more game to see if it sticks. Not much loss there. Connor says, 100% great. If GG leaves, then another DP striker is needed. John M says, Tiare was impressive tonight, though. Connor says, Tiare missed a couple of very good chances. He's just not a DP striker. Well, of course he's not. He wasn't designed to be. It's not like he's a great finisher or great in build-up. He's very average. Yeah, of course. That's what he's supposed to be. Walter says, did you guys like... Yeah, we Amada's captain. We talked about that already. Connor also says, Tiare scored once from a 1.3 XG. That's not a starting striker conversion rate. Yes, we already know that he is not a starting striker or a DP striker person. He's a backup. So he's doing backup things, as you'd expect him to do. Walter says, I'm still in disbelief that this actually happened tonight. I know. It's crazy. There's going to be a bit of a hangover effect tomorrow, in more ways than one. John M. said it was a joke only. Fernandino Ronaldo says, Muyumba looking like Darlington Abbey tonight, pressing and distributing the ball in the attack. He did. Not only that, but his defensive pressure was excellent. There was a couple of times where he made some sliding tackles, which in the past would take out an ankle and would give a yellow card and then put the other team in a great position to hit a free kick. But he actually nailed it tonight. Again, this is the same kind of pattern I was talking about the passes are accurate in landing where they should be. The balls are weighted correctly. The shots are on target. It's like everything is just clicking. And I don't know if the confidence just went from a 0 to an 11 or what have you, but everything was clicking. It was an amazing thing to see, the fully operational battle station. Omar says we should play against Messi every game. Yeah, I agree. Walter says, love you, man. Yeah, he's an absolute legend. I hope he finds his Infinity Gauntlet. Walter says, last thing then, and I'll shut up. Amada sure did show his home country that he is more than a sub. Almost kind of makes me mad. Cheers, boys. Cheers, buddy. Connor says the GOAT Santi Mina got the double in the Celta Vigo win. Lex Zone 6 said team rally behind Thiago, so I can't complain. And Connor says this game plan really fits Dax. Don't think he works near as well if we look into control possession. Yeah, whatever it was tonight absolutely worked. The concern is that what AJ said, if another team applies an attack in a different way, in essence trying to give us the ball and come at them, this type of formation, this type of game plan perhaps won't work as well. So it remains to be seen the efficacy of how this type of Atlanta United team is set up, their chutzpah, their panache, all the kinds of stuff. We'll see if this can translate into doing something next game and against a completely different setup, a completely different type of attack. So we'll see how it works. Hopefully we can string together some kind of result from this game. And if you don't take this game and continue your results, string something together, that's pretty bad in my opinion. Like this is the best possible thing you could reasonably. Honestly, it's kind of unreasonable that you would get this, and here you have it, gifted to you on a silver platter, almost for free. It feels like, and if you don't make something of this, you don't take advantage of this, I don't know what to tell you. That's a huge looking a gift horse in the mouth and not doing anything about it.
Because let's be real. The 9 matches before this, we probably should have won a majority of them, and going into this match, you would have maybe taken a draw, but instead it's the complete other way around. So it is, a bit of a this timeline, not the best timeline that we could be in. I think we'd all rather be in another parallel universe to this type of start for LA United. But hopefully this LA United snaps Gonzalo Pineda to just I don't have anything. I'm too tired.
You're saying the Infinity Gauntlet right now?
Yep, I'm referencing the Infinity Gauntlet. Anyway, let's call it. I'm about to fall asleep.
Yeah, we're all tired. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
All 20 plus people showing up to be with us after midnight on a weekday. That's excellent. You're all legends, and I hope you appreciated all the theatrics and silliness that we were up to earlier tonight. And we will catch you at the next game. Perhaps I might be there. Who knows? AJ will, absolutely. And make sure to stop by and say hi to him if you see him. Give him a hug. He hates that, and so it would be great if you did that and make me very happy. Sounds good. We'll post the Discord link in the chat for you guys to join up if you haven't already. Please do. We got a lot of good stuff there. Anything else you want to tell the people before we're out of here?
Well, either way, it's much love to you, everyone, for sticking around, for checking in on the stream for any minute of time, and definitely, for wins or losses or draws, we're always here for you. So, definitely, much love to everybody. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Good night. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Take care, everybody. Peace out.